The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good. Lewis, we're posting the chart of the DAX hourly. As you can see, it was expecting to have a pretty good rally, and we've certainly been able to do that. The $64 question is, how much higher do we go? Now, there is one chart that I think we have a little bit of interest in this morning, and that is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. I'll post this up so we can take a look at it. Whether this is going to work or not, of course, it's all based on probability. But if you take a look at this hourly chart, you can see that we've made a very nice head and shoulders pattern here that is quite symmetrical. Time between your left shoulder and your head and the right shoulder is equal, and they're both nearly at the same price. That quantifies it as a perfect head and shoulders pattern. Now, whether it'll remain that way or not, we have to wait and see. But if we get above the 22,070 level, this would certainly be a failure based on, what I'm looking at. Now, we've been talking about the potential for, the gold to drop a lot lower. Folks, it's already apparent to some people that it's already done that. We're down $26 from the high in gold. Remember, we hit $12.99. And you take 34 off of that, that's going to take you down to about $12.65. So keep an eye on the gold at $12.65. That's the harmonic number, and I would be watching that one very, very closely because it's going to be what I think is a pretty good support area, in the gold market. But remember, that triple top up there has the potential to be just super bearish. And as you remember, when we were talking about the things yesterday and we were looking at the silver market, we were watching the silver because of the fact that not only was it not making a triple top, it was making the 135 pattern where you had the lower tops coming in at the major Fibonacci numbers of 0.618 off of the April high and 78% retracement off of the June high. Now remember that gold was way up there. Silver should have been up around that $18.60 to $19 per ounce level, and it certainly didn't do that. So it was, lagging the market badly. And so that could mean that the gold is going to go down a lot more. In addition, if you'll remember, we had a really strong divergence in the XAU, which is the gold silver index. And if we take a look at that, you'll see that it is also have lower tops all through here as gold was making new highs. That's not a bullish sign for the gold folks. That's basically how we're keeping an eye on that, but it's very, very important. Now remember, on Sunday, we had Mercury going retrograde. That usually means that the grains are getting ready to turn. They haven't turned as yet. Whether they will or not remains to be seen. And we'll put up the chart of the Minneapolis spring wheat. I wanted to bring this to your attention because our good friend Rich Anderson and Cy Monley from Sylvius Financial alerted me to this. If you'll notice, yesterday, the Minneapolis wheat made a 61% retracement of that whole bull move, which was $3.50 or $3.20 per bushel. And we made a perfect 61% retracement. And we had, of course, you can see, the hanging man that's in here. So that tells us that there should be some strong support here in the Minneapolis wheat. And since it led the market up, we must keep an eye on the Christmas wheat, our December wheat, down around this 457 level as a potential to make that level. We're at 460 right now. So keep an eye on wheat and also keep an eye, on the soybeans. They're all affected by the Mercury, going retrograde, and that's something that we really, really need to look at. And now the news is very bearish in the grains. Just 2 weeks ago it was very bullish, and now with the good weather, everybody is bearish. So we'll watch it very, very closely. Now, much of this grain stuff, folks, will be focused on what happens with China. As you recall, if you listen to the news, the president is talking about looking at the intellectual property rights violations that China does. And believe me, that is so used. If you've ever been to China, folks, basically they can take just about anything. And with these machines that they have, they can literally duplicate it. And it looks almost exactly like new. Auto parts, jewelry, wristwatches, I mean, all that stuff. They can literally reproduce. It looks exactly with the same trademarks and everything, and that's not really fair. And then also with the musical stuff, they take a lot of that, and they don't pay any rebates back, any property rights on that, and that's the big thing, and that's a huge business in China. If you've ever traveled there, you'll notice that almost on every street corner you can buy Gucci and Louis Vuitton and, just about anything. As a matter of fact, during the Christmas holidays, one of the biggest scams in Hong Kong is the people from China come in to buy Louis Vuitton and Gucci and Dolce & Gabbana. And what they don't realize is that the employees of these companies that are there, they switch the originals with the actual ones made in China that are, like 70 or 80 bucks for something that's selling for 3,500, and they switch it out. They get caught once in a while, but it still goes on. But the line to buy this stuff during the Christmas holidays goes around the block, and it's really quite a bit. So we got to watch it very, 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 very closely to see what happens with this stuff that's going on, and we'll see what's going on here. Yes, we're having a really good move in the yen. We've been waiting for that for quite some time. If you remember, we were looking at this yen just the other day on Friday. We said that it had a really nice pattern down there at the 109 level. We hit 108.80, which is 20 cents below the the exact number we were looking at, and now we're trading very close to 111 already. That was a really nice pattern because you had a 3 drive to a bottom pattern, and you had double ABCD patterns coming in. And the real kicker was you took out the low from June by 4 pips, and then the market reversed. And that's something that really looks interesting. So keep a lot of watch that very closely because it's got a really big potential to have some pretty good move here in the market. So. I don't know if it's going to make 114 today, Steve, but it certainly could make 114, very, very easily. That's the key thing, to watch very closely. Now, getting back to the stock market just a little bit, I wanted to bring you up to date. What I was watching, as you can see here, yesterday we had this big move coming off of the stock market, not to be unexpected because this is something that we put in the newsletter over the weekend that, we had these 2 corrections. One in June was 15 points, and we had another one just recently in August, 15 points. And this is in the midst of a thermonuclear war. And you can see how that we almost made the 61% retracement in the cash. Now, we should make that today. Now, and possibly even higher because of this huge gap up. But this is what's happening on a long-term basis. So nothing's really changed from my perspective. I still think that we've got a chance to make substantially lower lows in here, but we'll let the market tell us if it's going to do that or not. Now, my guest today at the break is going to be Mark Leibowitz of Volume Reversal Methods out of Scottsdale, Arizona. Known Mark for quite a while. He was a good friend
of
Mark
Taz
Douglas.
Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the Taz Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN, and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I posted the chart of the Treasury bonds. As you recall, we've hit some major resistance up here with that Gartley on the daily pattern. I'll post that one in just a moment, but I wanted to alert you that we're now down 3 handles from the high, and we're approaching the 61% retracement down here at this 152 and change level, and that'll take out the recent lows. Now, if it doesn't collapse from that level, that's most probably a logical place to look for a potential rally at that point. I believe we're going to go down a great deal more. And the reason why I say that is if we look at the longer-term Gartley pattern here in the Treasury bonds, you'll notice that we hit that exact 78% retracement with the ABCD pattern at that 155.29 level. And now we're down, substantially from that level, 3 handles in just 2 days. That usually means with that wide range that you're starting to head lower. Now, if this Gartley is correct, folks, and we never know whether they are or not, of course, until they're finished, but this sets up an ABCD structure from, the 157 would be your A leg. Your B leg is 151. You're looking at 7 points there. So if you subtract 7 from your high here at roughly 156, you're going to be looking somewhere around 150 as a price projection in the bonds. That would put the yield very close to a little over 3%. If we hit 3%, that means that 10-year is going to be above the 2.6, and that would be a major surprise to these folks. And that's what we're looking at. We're having a question is whether the dollar index is bottom for 2017. I'm not absolutely sure, Mr. P, but I will say this: if we take a look at the euro on the long-term chart here, going back on the weekly basis, if you'll look at this euro, which is basically better than 50% of the dollar index, you'll see when we took out that high from 2015 and 2016, it was a perfect 1.618 expansion of the high from 2015. And it was 1.618 of 2016, and it was a perfect 1.27 of 2016. You can see the chart. I mean, you can see there's 2 major numbers, right up there, 119.12. It hit it spot on. I mean, that was the number, and it hit it. So, and now we're trading, 117 and change, and small change at that. So that's what we're, sort of following here, with this. One that looks very interesting, of course, is the British pound, because this British pound has come down to an area where it should have some very good support. Now, on Friday, we hit the 50% retracement, but if you'll notice here in the British pound here, the British pound now is down to this 128 and low and small change area, which is the 61% retracement level. So that's another one that looks interesting. So we've got a couple of these, along with the Japanese yen, which has had a really big move here of about $1,700 in just in a few days. All of these are starting to line up like there could be something dramatic getting ready to handle with the dollar. If you'll notice, folks, there's virtually no talk about what's happening in Korea. All that's gone. So they have to come up with something new, to fill the airwaves. So I'm not sure what that's going to be, but it's basically what we felt all along. It was the rhetoric among people trying to, bang around their sabers, I guess. Someone sent me an interesting picture of the Korean generals and all the medals and everything that they have, and they haven't been at war for 64 years. So it was a very interesting picture, to see that. So let's just watch it, what's going on. I think two things that were telling us: the dollar was not going crazy, and certainly the gold was not going crazy during this time when we had this last particular thing. And stocks didn't react very much. I mean, the most we ever went down was 200 points in one day, and we immediately reversed that. So that doesn't mean that it can't happen, but it's certainly, something that we're watching. Now, if we take a look at the E-mini S&P, which is it's far weaker. Excuse me, this is much stronger than the S&P cash, of course. You'll notice that we do have a 78% retracement up there at the 1276 level that we could hit, without any problem at all. So that's also the possibility. Of course, and we could make new highs. If we make new highs, folks, I'm going to be surprised. But I get surprised a lot in these markets. Believe me, I certainly do. And the market reacted so strongly coming in Monday morning that it pretty much telegraphed that, the world was going to be at peace for at least a little while. And that the key word there is a little while. We don't really know what's going to happen with this stuff. So let the charts try to tell you, what's going on. But interest rates do look like they want to go higher. But the key level today is if we take out that low from early July in the bonds and we don't go any lower. That's just a little bit, about 52.5, I believe, on the bonds is a number that we're looking at there. So kind of watch that, because if you don't break down from there, you got a chance for a rally. But if you go screaming through that, which is certainly a possibility given the strong down move today, we would be looking at something, very, very dramatic, as near as I can see, at least from that level. So that's the main thing. Mark Leibowitz will be my guest here at the break, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about Bitcoin, which I think you'll get a great pattern in that he's going to show us. The crude oil, I believe we're close to something very important in crude oil. We're down near the 61% retracement. Let's put this up here. This is what we were looking for from the newsletter this weekend, to see it come down to around this 47.98. Now we've got below that. So that means we're down to the 61% retracement, or this move that comes in around 47.25. So anything below 47 would tell us that there's something wrong here. And if we get below 46, folks, we're looking at an ABCD structure that could take you down into the high 30s. So this is very, very important. Yep, we're right there right now. 47.26 is that spot on number. So you watch it very, very closely here, because if you can hold that number, it's got a chance. That's pretty much, is more important. That's probably true, Fletch. That is probably true. Anyway, let's move on to the VIX index. Had that big move, of course, and then it gave almost all of it back. It stopped at the 61% retracement last night, but the market being stronger today tells us that we're most probably getting ready, to see a market that is going to at least attempt a possible, another new high. But that's neither here nor there. We'll have to watch it as we're looking at these markets each day, because they do change, quite a bit just by looking at it. That's the main thing. If we look at just take a look at, really want to see the quality of the rally, folks. If you look at the Russell 2000, which is a really small index compared to the others, you can see it's basically had almost no rally at all. It equaled the rally that we had that lasted 3 days, in late July to early August. And then we came down strongly, stopped right at the 78% retracement there, on Monday or Sunday or Friday, and then had the big rally. 877-927-6648. Stay tuned for Mark Leibowitz of Volume Reversal Methods.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Technomental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Technomental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we've got a guest on the line, Mark Leibowitz at Volume Reversals. Mark, are you there?
I'm here, Larry. Thanks for having me.
You bet, my friend. I haven't seen you in a long time. The last time was when you first moved to Sedona. Mark Douglas and I came up to visit you. I don't know if you remember that or not, but that was about 20 years ago, I believe.
Well, it was maybe 1988, 89, could have been even more, you know.
That was about right. I've spoken to you a few times. Anyway, you're probably the premier person in the whole country, probably on the planet, to talk about volume, but you really hit a nerve here with our folks. They always have an interest in Bitcoin, so I thought we might start with that chart. How does that sound?
Fine with me. It's one of my favorite trading vehicles in the last few months. It's something that most analysts really don't pay much attention to because it seemed too out there, and there weren't very many ways of trading it. But as you can see from the chart, essentially we've been using that GBTC as sort of a surrogate, and it's worked out pretty well.
Where is that listed, Mark?
It's NASDAQ, I assume. That's where
GBTC is a listed NASDAQ ETF for Bitcoin. Is that what it is?
Well, they don't officially call it. They call it an investment trust. If you recall recently, the SEC turned down the Winklevoss brothers registration on an ETF for Bitcoin, and I guess it's for cryptocurrencies, and they said there wasn't enough liquidity in the markets or some nonsense, but I'm sure that ETF will eventually get approved, which I guess would incorporate all or a good part of the cryptos out there besides Bitcoin. I guess it would include Ethereum, Litecoin, and all the others. And I'm really looking forward to that because the volatility we've seen in the cryptocurrencies here should make that ETF pretty interesting. But in the meantime, we only had this GBTC to trade, and I don't catch every trade in this thing, but when we get in on this thing, you make 30, 40 points on a trade on this darn thing, and as you can see in the chart that you have up there, this current move that we just experienced was really, really predictable. In fact, on the right side of the screen there, about 4 or 5 bars in, you could see I had a little positive volume reversal, what I call VR, and that set the stage for this recent spike that we just had. But prior to that, you were setting up this huge head and shoulders pattern. And if you recall, Bitcoin came down in the last 10 days or so because of the fear that the Bitcoin Cash, they call it the fork. They were breaking off Bitcoin to this new version of Bitcoin called Bitcoin Cash, which somehow hurt the original Bitcoin. So they took it down to about what the looked like the low 300s, high 270s, and sure enough, that was a washout. That became a head on this chart that you're looking at. We broke the head and shoulders pattern, and it measured exactly to where we got yesterday. So I'm a little bit of a bear here. I mean, I'm not short yet, but if I see some negative volume come in, you can see there's a couple gaps there on this recent spike up. I'm not a bear necessarily long term. I'm just saying I don't chase them up here. I think you pretty much fulfilled what you're going to see. And, we rallied about $500 in GBTC from that high 200 area up into the 700. So if I get a negative volume reversal or something up here, I'll probably consider going short this thing for a trade. But in the meantime, we're out. But I thought it was really an interesting pattern. And, this whole Bitcoin cryptocurrency has been climbing the proverbial wall of worry. So, we're always looking for new stuff, Larry. I mean, I'm not a Bitcoin expert or a crypto expert. It's like, cannabis stocks are hot, and we have a letter, we trade that, and I know you follow gold, and we do too. So, whatever's sort of moving, and I was one of the first out there trading this darn thing. Nobody really believed it was for real. But anyway, it's an opportunity.
Someone's asked, do you think it's anything related to the tulip bulb mania of the 1670s?
No, I'm not that bearish about it. Wall Street, the government doesn't like this. I mean, there's a war on cash going on, and we get into a whole other discussion about what's going on in the world. India, as you know, recently in the last several months, forced people to turn in their large denomination bills for smaller bills, caused a lot of panic and starvation over there. The government likes the fact they can control everything. There's actually some legislation in the Senate right now. I don't have the exact name of the act with me. We write it in the letter. I mean, even trying to penalize people more for having cash. So basically, it takes away your freedom when they try to restrict. You go to the bank, you take out cash. They write it down. They report it. There's actually laws that the police, if you walk around with too much cash, they can confiscate it. So Bitcoin is just an alternate currency, and they're trying to get rid of it on a certain level. But Japan legalized Bitcoin as a currency in Japan. So this is a worldwide trend. It's a trend away from real currencies, which you and I know devalue over time, and I don't think they're going to get rid of it. So this might be a little bubble here on a trading basis. I think it ran up too much, but I think it's here to stay. I just think it's an acceptance level. Most Wall Street doesn't like it, government doesn't like it. because it's out of the system. This is why people, and this has been good for the marijuana business too, because with the banking situation and the federal law being illegal in the United States, if you can consummate a trade using a cryptocurrency of some kind, you don't have to worry about cash and depositing in the banks the way the current traders have to worry about. So anyway, I'm a little long-winded here, but
no. I've learned more about Bitcoin in the last 7 minutes than I have in the last 4 years. So this is great. Let's switch over and talk about this.
You can get a degree now if you want in this stuff. I would encourage young people out there, by the way, if they're looking for a new career. I mean, there's actually, I know it sounds a little crazy. There's a university in Cyprus, in the city of Nicosia. They're offering a master's degree in blockchain technology. They're the first to do it, and I'm sure you're going to see all the universities ultimately offer this. And blockchain technology, whether you use it for cryptocurrencies or other applications, is a new field. So there's an opportunity here beyond the Bitcoin.
Okay, can we talk a little bit about this next chart, which is the GW Pharma chart?
Absolutely. GW Pharma has been another one of my big favorites. Again, a little left field out there for people, but back in 2014, I jumped on the cannabis marijuana space and actually created the Cannabis Vice Letter, which is one of my products, and everybody thought I was nuts. In fact, I did a presentation up in Canada in 2014, and they asked me what the new area of opportunity was, and I said cannabis, and I was in front of an audience of about 1,200 people, and they were all laughing at me. Now they invite me back up every year as supposedly I'm the guru in cannabis, but all I saw was volume. All I saw was volume coming into the upside. So as far as the GW is concerned, the stock is like the the IBM of the cannabis world, and they have all kinds of interesting FDA drugs in I guess in hold over there. But we trade the darn thing, and the reason I put this up was great correlation with my volume reversal work, and we haven't really talked about that. But on the screen here, you see the little green arrows, the little red arrows, and my volume reversal is basically rally days on increasing volume coming off lows on the positive side, and the red arrows are negative volume coming off of peaks. And it's it's a little bit of a formula there, but nothing, not rocket science. And I've been doing this, as you know, for about 35, 40 years, so it's nothing new. And I trade it. So basically, you got into a negative pattern here in the last couple of weeks, and you can see it's a little bit of a downtrend, but it's getting oversold down here now, and I'm waiting for a positive VR to get back in. This stock traded from 30 to 130, back to 30, back to 130, and now it's around 100. So it's a great trading vehicle, and it's a way to play that space, the cannabis space.
Hey, listen, we're going to take a little break. You'll stay with us. We're with Mark Leibowitz of Volume Reversal Methods, and we'll be right back after these few words. Stay with us, Mark.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how EverBank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? EverBank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? EverBank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. EverBank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. EverBank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour, brought to you by Nadex. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back with Mark Leibowitz of Volume Reversal Methods. Mark, I'm showing the chart of Bitcoin, going back, quite a ways. And the question that I have is, do you physically know anybody that actually, bought Bitcoin and held it since, these last 8-9 years that it's been running around?
No, I can't say that I know a couple people that got in and out of the darn thing, and but I couldn't honestly say anybody that. I was afraid to buy it physically myself because Mt. Gox was the I don't know what you call them, clearing firm for the initial Bitcoin a couple of years ago, and they were in Japan and they went under. And any Bitcoin you purchased with them, you lost all your money. So when that happened, I was sort of afraid to get into the market. Even though I've been tracking it, the only way I played it was through this Bitcoin trust that we just talked about. So last day or so, we made a lot of money in this Bitcoin Capital Corp. You haven't put I think you have it up on the screen now. This thing,
yes.
We took profits yesterday, fortunately, because today it's down. See, where is it right now? It's down 1 1/4 back to 150, and it got to 280 yesterday. So it's starting to fill that gap that you can see on the screen there. But prior to that, we had that volume reversal in it, and this was sort of a surrogate. There's a couple out there that trade like this. There's BTCS, BTSC, this is BITCF. They're sort of in the Bitcoin programming business in one way or another. I'd be looking to get back into this thing if it bases out here a little bit. I think there's still more coming. And Bitcoin itself, is down quite a bit this morning. I guess Bitcoin is pulling back. The GPC Trust is down over 120 points as we're talking, and it's correcting exactly what I said would happen here, because you fulfilled that measurement to the upside, and we're coming back to fill those gaps. But theoretically we could have gone short yesterday, but I didn't get a volume reversal, so we just sort of stepped aside and waited to see where the dust would settle. But it might be a short. It might be a short here. I don't know. I'm just out of it, taking profits and watching it a little bit.
It's easy to short it, and volume is good and everything.
Yeah, well, I would if but the thing runs so much here and it has such a big move, and I didn't get a clear sell signal. All I got was a signal that it hit a target, so we exited. So I don't like shorting it. How it is. It can continue to run, and I prefer to play it technically. But it said to get out, which is what we did, and now we'll just we'll watch it a bit. But it's an interesting market. Just something to play out there with some volatility. You know what I mean?
Very good. Let's take a look at one of my favorite stocks that I don't trade stocks at all, but I like this stock, is Gilead Sciences. You want to look at the weekly chart on this for us?
Yeah, I love this thing. It's this stock is way down, and I'm getting signs of a bottoming action in it. So this is like one of the kind of things I dream about in my work. Looking for bottoming formations like this. So I think Gilead, which as you know has come down from. Let's see, what was the high in the stock going back on the monthly charts here? I'm looking at about here. It was about, what's the high up there? It's about, that's, hold on a second here. I'm pulling up, trying to get up the big picture chart, besides the one that I've I've shown you here. Stock's down from 120 to the mid-60s. So, real opportunity there. So anyway, getting a volume reversal coming off a bottom here. You're taking out, the 200-week moving average. The stochastic, a little bit in a downtrend here, so I think it's going to pull back here a few points. But on an investment basis, near-term basis, I think this thing's going back to 100. So we took positions in it here in the 70s and looking to add it maybe in the high 60s. And this is more of a buy and hold, but you could also see how the little positive volume reversals on the chart there really worked out on a trading basis, giving you short-term entry points. You can decide how to trade it. I have clients and we do the same thing. We'll get a positive VR, we'll jump in for a few days or a couple of weeks, take the profit, and look to get back in on a pullback, or you take the investment approach, which I think you can do in a stock like this. I think basically it's whether it's going back to 120 or not, I can't say. I think more on a big technical bounce. So just an interesting bottoming pattern. I love when they kill stocks, Larry, when they take them down like this and you wait for those bottoming patterns.
Of course, your volume's a big help when you do that, isn't it? I mean, that's your expertise.
Yeah, we wait for the volume signal, sure, and hopefully a lot of bad news around it. They took the stock down on a lot of, bad news stories, and, I'm just sitting there watching this thing for months, waiting for an opportunity. There's so many companies we can talk about over the years that you and I know they've done this too, and you wait for the volume patterns to come in. So, yeah, this thing, frankly, I think it's a buy right here, but I could see where, it could pull back into the overall market comes down. Maybe they could take it back down to the 68, 70 area, but it's trading around 72. But we're looking at the stock down from 120 to 65, and certainly a rally back, I think, toward 100 over the next several months is not unreasonable. So it's one of our long plays that we're just basically trading on the long side.
Let's take a look at this Royal Gold that you've showed us here, because we have a lot of gold traders here at TFNN, and I'd like to know what your opinion is of gold on a longer term basis and shorter term basis, and then we'll also talk about this Royal Gold.
Royal Gold is probably your best performing gold stock. I mean, look at this chart. This is a daily chart of Royal Gold. I mean, it was 2 days ago this thing made a new high, and certainly we didn't see that in the GDX or in other individual gold stocks. So this is sort of I'm not a fundamentalist, but I know this is the relative strength of RGLD is just incredible, and I don't think there's a problem with gold if this is doing what it's doing, is what I'm saying. I mean, basically, yes, we were pulling back here a little bit. Gold ran up. There's a couple gaps on the chart, but I'm a bull, and I think this is one of the indicators for gold, and I think basically you just got traded on the long side, and we hit a little resistance just under 1,300 in gold, as you know, and we need to pull back to about the 1,260 area or so, and then I think we're headed up over 1,300. I'm looking for a push through the high from last year, which is 1,372, and maybe even into the 1,400s in the months ahead. So I'm a bull. It's it's a struggle. It fights its way up there. We know it's a rigged market. We know we got the bankers in there suppressing gold, and this has been going on for decades. But I think some of the smart people in the world are buying it, and I think it will trade up. But I've just put up the RGLD as a indication, and you can also see a good correlation in my volume reversal. And I don't like to dwell too much on this because it's more of a short-term trading comments, but you can see on the little negative VRs on the screen, little red arrows or little green arrows. They're little trading swings in the stock, and it's a good trading vehicle using my little technical signals. So when I get a little negative VR, even though I don't short it, I could. Positive VR, you can see about 10, 15 days back, then RGLD took off and it rallied since. So good correlation here on the volume as a leading indicator for whether you're taking a day or two trade or even on an intermediate basis here. So you tend to migrate to ones that work really well in your work, and this is one of them.
Do you remember, do they still have the London Gold Fix? Remember they used to have an AM and PM fix? Do they still have that anymore?
That's a good question. I couldn't categorically answer that, Larry. I think they still do. I don't track it. I mean, this just shows how old we are, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's don't go there.
The young guys don't know that. Back in the 60s and 70s, in the market, everybody was waiting for the London Gold Fix. Yeah, I don't know if that's even a factor anymore. So.
Hey, stay tuned for our break, and then we're going to give you a little commercial time when we come back. Okay?
Oh, sure. Thanks.
Okay. Mark Leibowitz, Reversal Method.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Basil Chapman will be giving a 2-series webinar Wednesday, August 2nd and Wednesday, August 16th from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Can sector rotation buoy the market into 2018? Each time the market feels it's ready to have a sharp decline, formerly weak sectors rally to hold the market up. This 2-webinar series will be free for Basil's opening call subscribers, and non-subscribers will also receive his daily newsletter for 1 month free as a trial subscription. Sign up for a 30-day free trial to Basil's daily newsletter, The Opening Call, and gain access to his subscriber-only webinar on August 2nd and Wednesday, August 16th from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Can sector rotation buoy the market into 2018?
Hi everyone, this is Basil Chapman, and I'm looking forward to seeing you at my webinar series.
To sign up for a 30-day free trial to Basil's daily newsletter and gain access to Basil's webinar, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, with Mark Leibowitz of Volume Reversal Methods. Mark, how can the folks, say, can you send out a sample copy if people request it of your newsletter?
Well, for you, Larry, I'll do that. I normally don't, but since we're old friends, if you want to make that offer, I'll be happy to send out a copy, sure.
And how do they reach you? What's your website?
The easiest, fastest way is vrtrader.com, like Victor Robert, VR, or Volume Reversal, vrtrader.com. You'll see all our newsletters up there, and
okay.
I'd be happy to oblige, since, like I say, we've known each other a long time, and introduce ourselves to TFNN.
Has anybody ever told you look a little bit like Larry Kudlow?
I don't know if I should take that as a compliment or...
No, it's a compliment. I actually know Larry, and when I first saw the picture, I said, I wonder why he's using Kudlow's picture.
Thank you. Okay. You make my wife feel a lot better. She says I look old, so thanks a lot.
Oh, no. That's that's because you married a 20-year-old. That's the problem, see?
That's always
Hey, Mark, we have a question from one of our listeners is, if you had to pick one good trade for the week, what would it be?
One good trade for the coming week. I think I would look to buy the Bitcoin surrogates like SING, BITCF, one of the low ones here on a little pullback. I don't think it's over. I think there's still a trade there. So look to buy SING here on a pullback, which is one we don't have up on the screen. It's called Single Point, but it's one that is a cheap little stock that mirrors Bitcoin. So I think that would be a good little trade.
Where are these listed, on NASDAQ?
Yeah. These are all cheap stocks. These are not blue chips, Larry. We're talking about, speculative stocks. But first,
sure.
Bitcoin Capital, BITCF, which we have on the screen, those are NASDAQ, maybe their bulletin board. But, they're like BITCF's trading 5 million shares already today. And that's sold yesterday at like 250. Now it's 150. So these things are wild stocks. But, I guess you could rationalize their options that don't expire, but volume works, whether it's a dollar stock or $100 stock.
That's right. Hey, Mark, thanks for joining us, my friend. We'll have you on again if you don't mind. It was really great. We really learned a lot. Thanks a lot. Mark Liebowitz of Volume Reversal Methods, folks. We'll see you tomorrow with Bill Meridian of Cycles Research, Vienna, Austria.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.